Okay, when we get ready to get started, will you come and push this right here? I'll show you up. My acid reflux, like Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Witching Hour with Lena
And Miranda.
And today we're going to introduce you to some proper offerings that you can do, whether it's for deities, ancestors,
Pantheons, or orishas, some of them.
Orishas, yeah. And just basic things that to keep you safe in your home as well, that you can use as offerings. So, before we get started, we're going to go ahead and pull a couple of cards just for the collective and see what we got going on, you know, with Mercury retrograde and the full moon. I know I'm a little bit fucked up. I haven't been able to sleep very well at night, so, you know, just kind of want to see what we got going on here as far as clarity and what we can expect these next couple of weeks. Okay. So this time right now is going to be a lot of learning lessons for a lot of us. It's going to be a time for you to actually put your boundaries down and take action on those boundaries. Take action on your responsibilities and quit making excuses for yourself. This will open up a lot more opportunities for you. You just got to stay grounded and out of the illusion, so out of your head and into your knowledge as to what you know. And that is what I'm picking up.
I love it. Good job. As I lose my hairpiece. I think it's
Alrighty. So, we're going to get started. You see we got a lot of stuff up here. And the first thing, you know, the reason why we give offerings, first of all, is because we want to honor whatever it is we're offering, okay? We want to honor our family, we want to honor our deities, and anytime you use a deity, a goddess, a god, anything like that, you've got to give offering, you know.
Or if you're asking them for help.
Or if you're asking for help, whether it's with spells, with personal stuff, with anything, it is proper etiquette to give them offering. If you don't, things can happen, because this is all an exchange of energy. Just like we do readings, we get paid, or we get paid in tacos, like I do. You know, food stamps, I don't give a shit. You know, it is an exchange of energy between these deities, gods, goddesses, and ourselves. And if they're helping us, we've got to, in return, show gratitude.
Yes.
And that's basically what it is.
And a lot of times, too, what we don't realize is just because they're in the spiritual realm, you know, we are, sorry, it's delaying. We're in need. So if we're asking them for a need, we're going to fill their needs. One of the very first things that I was always taught is to leave water. Water is a very good offering. When we get dehydrated, we need water. Spirits actually acclimate to the water, so you want to leave an offering of water.
And not only that, water also represents cleansing, clarity, purification. Running water is definitely good for raising vibrations and, you know, your aura and stuff like that. So, I mean, just kind of throw that in there too. Which I need some water right now.
I need water. It's hot, you guys. It's hot. We thought it was bad in the cemetery.
Right.
That's another reason why we needed to go on and do another one about offerings. First, I felt like we were just like bombarded with spirits, so for some reason neither one of us could actually use our brains.
Yeah, we couldn't remember shit.
And then we got out of the cemetery and we're like, oh, we were going to say this. Oh, we were going to say that.
Yeah.
And we totally did not.
So, also, you know, when speaking of the cemetery, you know, when you go in there to connect with your ancestors, we were talking about like leaving offerings to them or remembrances to them or in honor of them for their birthday. So we got a 40 ounce right there. You know, this is just what I was brought up with. You get your 40 ounce, you take a swig, this is for the homemade. You know, you just gotta leave it. And so liquor, alcohol is definitely something that is
There's
acceptable.
a reason that they call it spirits, y'all. There's a
Exactly.
reason they call it spirits.
You know, you know, actually when people do drink or consume alcohol, it does open a portal within them to to where their spirit moves to the side and something else does come in. You know, as scary as that may sound, it's fucking true. I go to bars, I can see all these double-headed fucking figures on people. It's crazy as hell, you know. That's why some people black out and stuff like that, which that's another story, so let me not go there. Okay, so alcohol is really good.
I guess.
Do you know why they use alcohol other than the spirits?
No, well, it was called spirits, but
Right.
alcohol is a good offering for them. What a lot of people don't actually know is the darker alcohol, like the browns or the golds, are the ones you want to pour out for them when you are in need of something. So say that you need to make your car payment. You're going to throw out this, well, you don't have to use tequila. Use whatever you got, okay? But normally for me, I will pour out brown rum because, or whiskey, dark whiskey. Now, again, the reason for that is because the darker alcohol, what it represents is your need for something. You're pulling them in for that need. You know, an easy way to do it would be like, here, I'm going to give them a shot glass. That's another thing. Always service your spirit first, okay? You're going to pour them a drink and you are going to set it down. And then if you want a drink afterwards, you can have a drink. I know some people that have gotten themselves in trouble that way, where the spirit will actually knock the whole bottle over. Just crazy stuff. So there's that. But the darker alcohols, the liquors, brown liquor, you know, some of us with that brown liquor. Those are the ones to ask for in need. Now whites are like the clears. These ones you're going to want to use to actually uplift the spirit, to pay some type of a homage towards them. For me, the reason I bought so many is because, you know, I'm building a mini bar. Just kidding.
She's not.
She's not. It's that red in my blood. Okay, so I wanted to cover the Santa, okay? The reason I wanted to cover the Santa is because there's a lot of misconception when working with the Santa Muerte. A lot of people will say La Niña Blanca, Flaca. Depending on where you're coming from, that's who you're working with. Now, for her, a lot of people think, oh, you have to use tequila, you have to use tequila. Truth is, she does like tequila. You want to pour out a good tequila. But if you don't have it, that's fine. She's cool with whatever you have. That's one thing that's really good with working with the Santa, is she is perfectly fine with whatever you have. You have to remember that she is one of those people that you, how would you say, a saint that you would pay homage to for people that are in very bad predicaments. They don't always have money. They don't always have those things. So whatever you have on hand, it doesn't matter if it's a freaking Corona with some lime. I've done that before. So I've been told Corona is good. Any type of beer. Not all of them do.
Yeah. And I'm gonna jump in right here real quick because of the fact that you are talking that she does work with a lot of people that are less fortunate, and they're the ones that honor her and stuff like that. So with her, she will take anything you have. If it's a piece of bread, as long as you're giving with your heart and you're giving with good intention, that is basically what it is.
Yeah, it's all about
It's how you're giving it. So
definitely.
you got to make sure your intentions are there too when you're giving these things away, and not with a shitty attitude like, fuck, I gotta waste a shot of whiskey right here, otherwise, you know,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
get struck
so-
by lightning. You know?
She's gonna strip your ass right there in the house.
You're gonna have streaks in your chunnies is what you're gonna do.
So I've been told the same thing. Gold is to ask for things. The white is to uplift. I know a lot of people that will leave beer, un trago. That's one offering. Tobacco. Tobacco is always good for the Santa, for pretty much almost any type of deity, pantheon, saint, ancestors. Ancestors work really well with tobacco. This is black tobacco. I've used different types of tobacco. One of the ones that I always really use is sacred smoked tobacco, and that's just for my native side.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in right there too. Don't forget your animal spirits.
Definitely.
You know, just because tobacco is grown, it's probably one of the older type of offerings. that people have offered, and a lot of it is to promote peace,
Mhm.
or war, peace or war. I mean, it just depends on what your attention it is, so just wanted to kind of throw that in there too.
Good. Thank you. So, rum. Because I have done some work with the Orishas, because I've been involved, we always use rum. Again, with the rum, we would use a dark rum if we're asking for something, white rum. Now, what I was told is, again, it's whatever you can afford, whatever you can put out there. But when you get the chance to give them something good, you would want to give them something good, something of higher quality. Me, I'm a bougie girl, and I always get Bacardi. So, yeah. I don't drink it. I leave it for them. And normally you don't just drink it, you'll pour it out for them. The homies thing. My
Yeah,
homies.
the homies
My
thing.
Orisha homies. No, just kidding. Or I spit it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up, is the spitting of the alcohol is perfectly fine, depending on what your background is, and if that's what you're used to, and you're doing it with good intent, not
Yes.
spitting downward. You're spitting it because it is part of you coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It
It's
I mean,
mixed.
it just kind of
Yeah.
represents that.
I love that. I love that you said that, because I probably would have forgot. Another thing is, say that you are a person who is a recovering alcoholic. There is nothing wrong with putting it in a spray bottle and just spritzing it. That's okay. We all have our own path in life that we walk, and we would never ask you to do something that is going to,
Compromise.
compromise your healing path. Good.
So we got some other things as well. I did have some copal burning. So another good offering is incense. A lot of the goddesses, they like smell pretty.
Yeah,
They
yes,
like
definitely.
roses, and you can burn them or you can just put them there. I call them smell pretties because I like a good incense. I like it to smell nice because it uplifts me. So, I mean, it uplifts your deity or God as well.
Yes, the smoke
Goddess.
the smoke we also believe is, a lot of times we send up our prayers with that smoke. Again, that comes more from my native side. But yeah, so with those, cedar. Again, this is going to go more with your native spirits, because cedar is actually taboo to use in Santeria. We don't use cedar because we respect the plant, so it's kind of taboo to use. A lot of people don't know that.
I did not know that.
Hopefully I don't get in trouble for putting that out there. But yes, cedar for natives. Whenever I burn it, because I am native, I always keep it away from where my orishas are. Just because, I've been told that it is taboo to burn the cedar with the orishas. So I keep it away from them. Or I will talk to them beforehand and say, look, this is for my other spirits. I apologize if this is disrespectful. I'm not meaning any disrespect. Cedar is amazing. You can drink it. You can sprinkle it. You can burn these as well. Let's see. Pine. Anything pine is good. I love pine. Pine in itself is good for cleansings, healing. There's an old native story where you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but I might as well throw it out there.
Go ahead, I'm listening. I'm interested in all this because I'm learning with y'all because I don't.
So there's this story, and I
don't know
can't
much about
remember
this,
what lineage it's from, but they said it was during the creation of the world, and the world was in darkness, right? And she's like, she's gonna love it. The world was in darkness, and so there was light, but it was at the end of the world, and everybody could never get to that light. And so the creator's like, my people are freezing. We need to bring this warmth to them. And so he sends out, of course, the bird. And he says, you need to go forth and you need to get me this light. We need to bring this light to the people because they're suffering. And so he goes and he finds where the light is, and it's in this little hut at the end of the world, and they've got a garden, they've got all this stuff, and he has a daughter, a very young daughter, and she's beautiful. Well, the man, though, he knocks on the door and he says, I want to take your warmth and give it to the people because they're suffering. And he's like, no. So he closes the door on him, and he approaches him a couple other times, and he just flat out tells him no. So then the bird he gets creative and he takes a pine needle. He drops this pine needle in the young girl's water when she's drinking water from the stream. And he had bewitched the pine needle, and the pine needle then grew into a child. So then when she gives birth to the crow, which is strange. I know, this is where I said you guys are going to think I'm strange. She gives birth to him, and he's playing with the ball himself, and it's the ball of light, and he knows what it is. He's attracted to it. So she takes the ball from her father and gives it to the child. And then the child then transforms into the bird, and he takes the ball and he gives it to the world. He puts it high in the sky.
Oh, wow.
And that's one of the stories. So pine needles are sacred.
God, I felt like I needed to sit around a campfire with that shit. Woo! I like that.
I know, we're crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go into some other offerings, which is food, okay? Because I love food. I love food. And, okay, so this is more, your deities will take, you know, bread, anything that you make with your hands and make with love, they're going to accept, you know, but research your deity and see what they like, because there's certain things you're not going to feed your wife pizza if she don't fucking like pizza, right? You're not going to feed your husband hamburgers if you don't like hamburgers. So you need to research your deity or whoever you're giving offerings to, and make sure that you're giving them what they like. But when it comes to your ancestors and your family, that, you know, if you have a ancestral altar, ofrenda, whatever it is, you know, you can make whatever it is you feel like a family meal, a family recipe, something, you know, they liked in life, you know, and place it on the altar for them. Or it's known to have dinner with them, place a seat, you know, an empty seat with a plate, and give them part of your meal, and you share it with them, and that's very honorable for ancestors and family members. So, you know, just keep that in mind. And a lot of the offerings are bread, you know, and that bread-like items.
Well, you have to remember where that comes from, you know. Things to make bread. Bread was not always bought in stores, you guys. You had to make that
used
stuff.
to make it by
You used
hand.
to have to make it by hand, and it was hard to get certain ingredients, sugar, you know, spices, the grain itself. So there was so much put into that, and it was so hard to get it that it was valued. I like that you brought that up. I like that you brought that up.
Or you could do tortillas. It's
Yeah.
bread.
Right? Tortillas, fry bread.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But I love that you brought that up, because another thing I wanted to talk about is there's offerings that you would want to place down. Say that you're going to do a garden. A lot of the Celtic people believe, you know, or even people that work with the Fae. I don't work with the Fae, but I know a lot of people who do. Yeah, they just. I'm
They're
like,
just
no.
whiny. Just being honest.
I was like, don't say that. She's sorry, you guys. She's no.
I apologize. I didn't know.
No, you would then take that loaf of bread and you would offer it to the earth. Some people would do blood sacrifices for that reason. But yeah, we won't.
And that's not only for, well, I'm not thinking flower gardens, I'm thinking more vegetable, right? That's
Yeah,
what-
vegetable.
okay,
You're
like
just
food gardens.
you're giving homage to what's his name? It just went blank. I love it. Great. Anyways, you're paying homage. So you're gonna offer that to them and let them know that you're thanking them and you're asking them to watch over, you know, your garden, your home, things like that, so that way only good things come in.
And speaking of gardens and stuff, I'm gonna bring in the Italian deities, the horned god, and
Yes.
and the mother, the moon mother. Sorry, moon mama. I don't know what she's called. They super appreciate like seeds, flowers, anything that has growth to it. This is some way to offer them. Also olive oil. Of course, it's going to be olive oil.
Of course.
Olive oil is used in so many things in spaghetti.
Yeah.
You know, for healing and also for cleansings. So
Well, it's great for the body itself. You know, it washes out clean. It doesn't leave any any hard deposits behind, you know, just its aroma in your
Right.
body.
Right, and that's where you do got to find information on who you're working with. There's something up there.
Yes.
See this one?
It's not coming through.
Okay.
Oh, Mile Morales says hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Hi, Indica. Love you, baby. Mwah.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, just do your research. Make sure you are getting the right things because you will be sent abundance with that. Abundance in many things. You know, just by participating like you're supposed to.
Yeah. I love that you brought that up. There is an Italian witch that you work with during the same time that you work around St. Lazarus. I believe it's around in December, but you actually leave out a broom for her.
Is that the babushka?
No, it's not a babushka. But you leave out a different offering for her, and I'm glad that you grabbed that because I don't know if I'm happy to.
You don't multitask very
I
well.
I don't. I'll be like, oh wait, okay. I think they call her Belflana, but yes. So you're gonna leave out. A lot of people leave out hay for her horses. I know when I would do it, I would leave out water for her. I'd leave out a glass of water for her horses, and then straw.
I'm gonna tell you too, even material, colored material, because I had seen this yesterday because I was like trying to do a little bit of research because I'm not one that I work with many deities or anything like that. So with that being said, there is certain materials like patchwork that you can put together as long as it's made with your own hands and you give it with love. It also works for her.
I love that you say that because there's a lot of Celtic and pagan ones that you would actually leave that kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
I love that. I love that.
Sweet.
Do you have more on the?
Not really much more. Just honoring them at the times that you're supposed to honor them. Like
Yes, definitely.
you know, the horned god is you know, the sun, and of course the moon mother is the moon. And what's funny is the horned god is actually the fertility. So anything that you want to bring in fertility, you go to the horned god instead of the mama. So I don't know how that works, but
No, just kidding.
It just is what it is. That's pretty much all I know about that. But yeah.
Yeah, so do your research. You don't want to upset anybody. With the Rishas, some of them do not drink. I know that Obatala, you do not offer him alcohol. There's a whole story in that. Let us know if you want to hear that story, because I already told you a weird pine eating story. Cinnamon. You can burn cinnamon. Canela is good for just about anything. You can burn it. You can make a tea. A lot of times you're burning it because you want to open up your paths for financial and love.
Camino.
Yes, definitely. Candles, guys, don't underestimate the power of fire, of light. Candles are always good, and just because it's a black candle don't mean that it's bad. It does not mean that it's bad. I want to put that out there. It's a lot of stuff that we get a lot of times. Oh, this is bad. No, it's really not. Again, it's with your intention.
Exactly.
It's with your intent.
Okay. Also, metals and coins.
Yes.
Okay. So these are also things that you can bring in and give as offerings. Most of the time, it's like silver and copper.
Yes, because that's what it was dealt with a long time ago.
Yeah. So we kind of stay along those lines.
Yes, like with the Greek, stuff like that. A lot of their stuff was copper, brass or copper. So yes, definitely. If you're working with your Gitana spirits, your gypsy spirits, they will take coins, they will take wines, they will take fruit, but they love jewelry. So if you have an altar for the Gitana or for your gypsy spirits, you would want to put something that's attractive, shiny and attractive to them, as well with the Fae, like that type of thing too.
Because they'll take it from you. I'm just being honest.
Let's see.
So, some of the deities that you work with, I mean, have you?
Okay.
Who you've worked with?
Who I've worked with. So I've done a lot of root work. Now, with that in itself, a lot of the beautiful thing about root work is it's stuff you already have. That was weird. It's stuff that we already have on hand. Okay. You're gonna have the sugar, you're gonna have the salt, you're gonna have the honey, you're gonna have the baking powder, the baking soda. These are things that are readily available. You're gonna have the earth, you know, and with that, it's gonna be the simple things. And a lot of times they're grateful. I know a lot of times people have heard the story of the poinsettia, you know, how that became the Christmas flower was because, you know, this little girl found it in the street and she had nothing to take to the church as an offering. She had nurtured that flower so much that by the time she got there, the flower had bloomed, and it was one of the most beautiful flowers that they put on the altar. Yeah. So that's why the poinsettia, yes, it's poisonous, but it is the Christmas flower. Right. It's like the roses for the Virgin, you know. Juan Diego, there was no roses. It was in December. There was no roses, and she placed those roses there, and when he dropped his smock or whatever, her picture was there, and they said, okay, we believe him. And Juan Diego, he was actually an Indian. He was native, and they didn't native to that area, and they didn't believe him. Right. So flowers are really good offerings. I have worked with, so one that I work with a lot more recently is the Sampa. I've worked with Catholic deities for the simple fact that I grew up very Catholic, but also with Santeria. What a lot of people don't know is they were refugees. They were brought here, and a lot of them were just brought here for, well, we're not going to go into that story, but they weren't allowed to freely worship. Right. Things like this wasn't always very, very openly accepted. So a lot of the Orishas have a Catholic saint for that reason, because when the slave traders or whatever would bring them and they forced their religion and things on them, they found these likenesses in their Orisha, and so they worshiped that Catholic saint like the Orisha, so that way they weren't punished later on.
And I want to bring up, that's part of the reason why people will put their saints or their santa in the closet or somewhere hidden, because it is something that they were brought up to keep as hidden. So yeah, I mean, it just kind of follows through, you know. What's wrong? Oh, okay. Yeah, it just kind of follows that along. Also, I wanted to say, go for dust.
Oh yes.
Go for dust or graveyard dirt. Okay, this is along the lines of voodoo, you know, root work, working with those types of deities and stuff, especially Papa Legua. It is graveyard dirt or go for dust. Okay, that is honorable for them. That is something that you can heal yourself with, and you can also give as an offering.
Yeah.
For that.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait. We're trying to get to New Orleans, y'all.
Yeah.
We want to go and see Marie Laveau. I want to go see Marie Laveau's grave, and I already have a whole list of stuff that I'm putting out there. Cascadia, again, is very widely known for the Hispanic community.
Right. And this is why you'll find even in the fields, there's eggshells or eggs planted in the, like as fertilizer into their
soil. Yes,
their
because
soil.
the egg shell itself has nutrients and things like that, as well as the offerings. Let's see. So yeah, I've covered the Orishas. I've covered Catholic saints. My own ancestors,
right.
and those that have passed. I love how you brought up having the boveda. I love, you know, the ofrenda. Those are very big.
Right.
I'm a firm believer that we do not walk alone here. You know, we have our own spirits. We have people that have come before us. We're going to have people that come after us. Right. You know what? We're going to be the bad bitches that they call on. is
Yeah.
the way I see it.
And I want them to leave me food. I want tacos. I want tacos. But they will know that.
If you bring me alcohol, like make sure you leave me tacos, because that's my go-to when I'm drunk. I'm like, tacos. It's bad.
Oh, that's great.
It's awful.
Okay, so I've worked with very few deities just because that is just not something that I've done or grew up doing. That doesn't mean I'm not going to start. I just kind of go with the flow, and whatever my guides tell me to do is what I do. So my guides have told me in taking care of them, I've got to take care of myself, and which is my health. So that's what I do in order to honor them, is taking care of myself better, and I've been trying really hard to do that.
I see the difference.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
Not taking
Yeah,
it
it's
easy. So with that being said, I have worked with archangels, and with the archangels, it's prayers and words of affirmation, words of thank you, for the archangels that I've used. I have worked with a little bit with the Santa, and this is to help like reverse a lot of things, and also with Papa Legua to reverse a lot of things, and they in turn will tell me what needs to be given.
Yeah.
So I don't really give it myself. It's for my client or whoever is I'm working with, that they will have to give it, and I'm just the messenger that passes that along.
But we need nourishment too. That's another thing. I love that you brought up your taking care of yourself, because really the path to spirituality, the path to enlightenment, it's all about healing who we are and speaking to our higher self, becoming our higher self, actually.
And our best self.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and just you don't necessarily have to work with anything, okay? And this is kind of something I want to put out there.
Yes.
If you're just starting on your spiritual path and you're not really sure where to go, a lot of people believe the hype, they follow the trends, okay? Sometimes it's not for you, and if it's not for you, it's gonna fuck you up. Like you're just not gonna work well with these deities.
But that doesn't mean that that's not your calling. If you still feel a strong calling to it, just maybe it's not that.
It's not the right time, or it's just not for you at that moment. So this is something that you take personally, and this is your intimate relationship. And I'm going to put that out there because that's what a lot of Christians like to use, your intimate relationship with God. Everybody should have one. Well, this is your intimate relationship with yourself and your higher beings, and you will be known when it's time. You will be let know when it's time who to work with. So don't feel like you're lacking or behind everybody else just because you don't work with things like this. It is perfectly okay. Everybody's walk is different for a reason, because we're all here to do different things in order to keep each other balanced out.
Yes, and we're all needed. We're all needed in certain things, and some of us do things better than others. Now, I know Hecate, you brought it up last video. She's very, very popular right now, and a lot of people believe, she is the mother for witches. And a lot of things for her, you'd be surprised. You're going to leave offerings at the crossroads. You're going to leave, keys, things like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Dogs, symbols of dogs.
So if you have any deities that are water deities, shells, stones, different things like that. If you're going to go into like fish symbols, stuff like that. So that came to my head.
I love that you
type
said
of
that.
water deities.
That's probably my area. It's just like Miranda say something.
And I am a fire sign, but I really haven't looked into like the fire deities, because I just feel like, I'm fiery enough. I probably don't need more of that shit.
She's totally fiery though. Trust me, she's way fiery. Especially lately.
Yeah. And I could just let me throw in some hot Cheetos like that. When it comes to stuff like that, especially, you just go with what you feel, and even if it's ridiculous to other people, you've done your research. It doesn't say not to do this. You do what you feel and what you have to give.
Absolutely. I love that. Again, it's just with the intent. Just if you do choose to follow the path of a certain deity, make sure you do your homework, because you can get in trouble really quickly. again, I know with certain orishas, there's no alcohol whatsoever, none. But you feed them at the same time as you do other ones, but you need to keep that alcohol completely away. I know, I like to bring up Santeria because it's such a big part of what I do, but I don't like to bring it up because it's something
It's sacred.
yeah, I can't give out stuff, so it makes it very hard for me.
So I'm going to bring up something as like working with the deities that just don't give up. Okay, like Jinn.
There we go. I love this. I was wondering who's
Okay.
going to bring that up.
So when you're working with the Jinn, you know, this is like the 3 wishes, grant me 3 wishes. They want something in return, okay? And you've got to give it. If not, they will take it out your ass. Just saying. Be careful who you work with, but it's very powerful and very quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, if you feel like you want to work with stuff like that in order to get your spell across, or whatever it is that you're asking for across really smooth, really quickly, just do your research and do it wholeheartedly. Okay, because like I said, it will take a piece out of your ass.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And some deities you can work together with, some you cannot. I had a separate shelf for all my orishas, and I had put my santa on there, and I was wondering why things weren't working. She has to be held
By herself.
separately, completely
Yeah.
by herself.
There are some selfish ones.
There
Just
are.
saying.
My warriors, they have to be by themselves. So make sure if you're working with multiple, you're feeding all of them what they need, when they need it, when they ask for it. I love that you brought up the Jinn because are we okay to tell that story?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. So we have someone in the shop who was working with the Jinn, and they asked for specifics. So pay attention to the fine lines.
Oh yeah.
So they had done the spell, they had got what they needed, and she figured, okay, well they asked for hair. So she thought, okay, I'll just pull some hair out of the brush and threw it there. And it did not go away, you guys. It did not go away, and it was wreaking havoc through the house, all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you have called upon a certain energy and it's still there, go back and check, read the fine print, make sure you know, make sure if you're going to conjure something up, you know how to put that sucker back down. Anyways, so what it needed was hair from the root. And so she had to literally, once she pulled the hair from her root, it was gone.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Well, most hair spells or things that you do with hair, you need the root. So
Yeah, you do.
and that's kind of
Like native bad medicine. We call it bad medicine. when you pull from the root. So that's what we need. We need the root. But I mean, we're not going to go into the scary stories. We're not going to go into the kukuis today.
One day we'll go into the kukuis, okay? I've got lots of those, especially with some of the houses that we play.
Some of the houses that we've played.
Yeah.
No, but I was always told that Hispanics, they bring a kukui with them.
Uh-huh.
Our kukui lived in the basement, and his name was Hector.
Oh, not Hector.
Yeah, his name was Hector, and we grew up with him, and we knew we couldn't go into the basement. And even as an adult, I'm still afraid of the basement because I'm like, if I go to my grandma's, I'm like, I'm glad she lives where she lives now, because otherwise she'd be like, go downstairs and do this. And I'd be like, no, Grandma, Hector's gonna get me.
You know, and the house I grew up in too, it just, you know, you run up the stairs and it always felt like somebody was that close to you ready to grab the shit out of you. Yeah, kind of crazy.
Oh, I also wanted to bring up blowing smoke. So smoke is very sacred. You can do different types of smoke. Cigars, I use a lot of cigars, especially for my santa, especially for my native spirits, especially for my orishas. Again, with that, not every spirit likes smoke. So again, do your work. Also,
When you're blowing smoke, don't take it into your damn lungs. Don't take it into your lungs. You're ruining it. Okay?
there's a neat trick. I'll have to show you one of these times when we smoke on camera. No, just kidding. Also, don't anybody get offended, but weed.
Huh?
Weed. Marijuana, the green herb. I give that to my santa. She's perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
so I do blow that at her every once in a while. And if you do not have a weed card and you cannot attain that, you can use an oil, or you can
Legally.
yes, legally, for legal purposes. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Or I even take, this is illegal too. Damn it. I'm just illegal.
It's okay. You just say what it is.
You're not illegal.
I'm not illegal, but I just do dumb shit. Anyways, no, I don't do dumb shit. This is part of who I am. I honor it. I respect it. The vape pens, the dab pens, whatever. You can, if you have nothing else, go ahead and blow that.
Yeah. That works too. And like I said, don't. When you take it into your lungs, it takes away the purification form of it.
Yeah, so you're gonna suck it in, hold it in your cheeks, and blow it out.
And blow it out.
I'll do an example. Say the candle is a cigarette. You would light the cigar. The cigarette, you can't do it with the cigarette as often, but you can with the cigar, where you take the cigar, you puff it, you get that cherry on the top. You can flip it around and blow it out the opposite way. Just be very careful. Make sure your mouth is really wet. You do not want to burn it, and you want to make sure that there's no ash there, because that will burn the shit out of you.
You can do that with the joint too. Just saying. I don't even think people smoke joints anymore, but that's back in my day.
I've been to the place and they do sell some pre-rolled joints.
Really?
Yes, it's cool.
That's funny.
Yeah, what do they call it?
Okay, another thing that we need to bring up is honoring your pets, your passed over pets.
Oh, yes.
It's okay to leave their food out. It's okay to leave their water bowls out. To honor your pets that have passed on. Little treats, anything that they like, their toys, their beds, leave them out.
Their collars, yeah. And you don't always have to get rid of everything.
No.
But if it's harmful, go ahead and remove it. But at the same time, leave little things for them, because they still very much come to visit. They were very much with you in life. They will be very much with you in the past.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay.
Oh, also, if you do happen to leave out food offerings and the animals happen to eat them, you may have to re-leave that offering out. Not that that's happened to me or anything.
No, never.
It's so bad. It has happened quite often.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else. We haven't had anybody ask any questions.
It's because they're taking notes. You guys are good note takers.
Yeah.
Did you cover the offerings for Saint Expedite?
Oh, the
yes.
offerings for Saint Expedite.
Saint
Okay.
Expedito.
So, with Saint Expedite, red candles.
Yellow candles, red candles.
Yellow.
You really, really, really need to put. I've been told if you promise him something, you need to deliver on
Yes,
that.
we definitely do.
Pound cake.
in the freezer, yeah.
Pound cake, yes. You can get a pound cake at the grocery store, put it in the freezer, and then take it out and leave it there for him as soon as you
Right.
can. He loves sweet offerings. Pan dulce. What's that? There's that little jello-y thing that's
The
really sweet.
flan?
I don't think it's flan.
No, not flan.
No, it's like guayaba paste or something like that.
Oh, I have no idea what that is.
Yes, I've worked with him a few times, and yes, he works wonderfully. But do not offer to give him something you know you can't deliver
Right.
on. So,
Or give it to him before time. Before
Yes.
you've done anything.
or yeah, go ahead and give it to him before time. He is one of those that is said if you do not follow through, he will take it back or he will make it worse for you.
Yeah.
I've been told, and this is something that's kind of scary, but I think it needs to be put out there that I've been told he will take a life from someone if that's not followed through. That's usually a little bit more with the darker side of working with things.
And he does make things happen super fast though.
Yes,
Super fast. So you need something done immediately, that's who to work with.
Yes, definitely. Especially with money spells or anything you need super fast. If you do happen to have a Saint Expedite theme, he is also another one that likes to be
Has to be
on
by
his own.
himself.
Yes, by himself. And you'll want to put him in the window closest to the door as possible.
See, and I have mine like on a red silk, because that's all I had.
That's fine.
But yeah, I have that there. But I also have a shelf that I keep coins that are like valuable, but I don't know what the fuck to do with them. But I know they're worth a lot of money, so I do keep the coins there for him
Yes.
too, and they're just there. They're his. You know, and then when I do ask for something, I'll bring something else. I do keep water by him all the time, though.
Yes,
all the time.
yes.
So
Water is life, and so
It is.
we want to breathe that life into our
Yes.
spirits and into our offerings. and things
you know, and
like
I don't know what the rules are as far as changing out water, but I change out mine like maybe every couple of days.
So I know with certain ones you can't leave water out too long; it's stagnant, so it brings bad things in. Pay attention to your water. You just don't want it to be gross. If you are working with the Santa, she likes her water refreshed daily. Now, like un trago for her is different.
Yeah.
You can leave that out for maybe a few days to a week.
Because alcohol will kill anything that goes in there, but water does absorb negative energies.
Yes.
So that's why you do have to constantly like.
Yeah,
take it
with
out.
her, she is very adamant about it being changed out daily. I have noticed that with her. The water does need to be changed daily for her. Or if you're one of those people that have a big yard and you can put her outside where she's going to be safe, put her by running water. Other spirits do that. I know with my warriors, the Elewa, when I go out camping, when I go through the mountains, things like that, or I go on a hike, I'll take him with me. He's very safe where I
Right.
take him, and I'll just set him, in the bushes or whatever, and where he's safe. Of course, if you're taking their statues or you have to do an offering with that, and they have to be present, make sure that they're in a safe, secluded area.
You're gonna see on a lot of movies too when they do bring up the Santa, like when it comes to drug lords and stuff, they do have her next to running water. Okay, it's the flow, it's the refreshing,
And
rebirth. Just rebirth all the time, but it keeps the energy not stagnant.
yes.
And
And-
I do believe that it's because of the danger that they're in.
Yes, I love that you brought that up. I'm so glad
that they
you
try
touched on that.
it keeps the protection going.
Yes.
It keeps it fluid, and it keeps the abundance coming in. So yeah, that's a good reason as to why you would put it in
What did they
red
say?
water.
The color purple, where she needs to go. Sinners have song too. Just because you don't always work with the light doesn't mean that there's also things that need to be done when you're working with the dark.
Right.
And
Exactly.
it's
that.
about balance.
Mhm.
It's about balance.
So another thing I do want to bring in is blood sacrifices.
Oh yay!
Yeah, blood offerings. Okay. So even if you're working with dark things, does not automatically mean you need to give blood offering. Okay. You need to understand that blood offerings, blood sacrifices are something that are permanent. So you need to make sure you know exactly what you're getting
working
yourself
with,
into,
yes.
what you're working with. People will lose their souls this way. Just letting you know. Don't sign nothing with blood.
Yeah, or some of us that have done that whole spaghetti trick,
Mhm.
we ain't getting rid of them, honey. I'm
They're
sorry.
not.
Make
Or
sure you like them that much.
Blood
Yes,
sisters.
Blood sisters.
You know,
Yes, blood packs.
blood packs are lifetime, and that doesn't mean just physical life. That means eternal life. So this is through this lifetime and every other lifetime. I don't like anybody that damn much where I want to be stuck with them for that fucking long. You know what I mean? So just be careful with what you're doing with blood sacrifices.
Yes.
Or make sure nobody can get a hold of that, because they will. If you get
They
a
will
witch
mess stuff
or a
up.
wizard or somebody that works with curses, get a hold of your blood
Or your hair
or your hair, you are screwed.
and your bodily functions. Nothing.
Oh yeah. Semen, fluids, anything, spit.
Yes, spit,
So yeah, just
sweat,
be careful with what you're sacrificing, where
or
you're
what you're
leaving it.
offering.
Yes, and why you're offering it.
I know that there's particular rituals involving the Santa where people do offer their blood, and she does have your life after that for sure. I've been told that she does come and walk with you anyway,
Mhm.
if you are a practitioner of her. But yes, just be careful with what you're doing. When we feed our orishas, I think we only do it one time a year, as we're told to. But again,
And if you're told to, it's usually because you're in crisis and you need something
Yes,
super bad.
definitely. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to share a spell with all of you, just because right now we're out there, we're doing our thing, you know, we're showing our bodies off. Right now, a very big thing right now is mal ojo, the evil eye.
Oh yeah.
Please, you know, take it seriously. I've had a lot of people come in recently that have had a lot of ojo on them. And it's just jealousy. With babies, a lot of times it's an admiration sickness. That's why children, they wear bracelets. They're given little red things to put on. So with that, I wanted to share a very easy, simple spell. If you do it, then, you know, come in and see us, then we can do it. We're going to get you a 40.
Yes.
Okay? And you are going to take this 40 and, well, first, it's a spiritual bath, y'all. So bathtub is great. If you don't, pour it in a mop bucket.
But just have a shower.
Yes, yes, definitely. I like to do things outside, but a lot of us can't be naked outside. So, darn it. Put a swimsuit on, pour it over you. Let's see. So with this spell, you are going to take a 40. It doesn't need to be OE. It was what I found. So,
yeah.
You are going to take your regular shower, cleanse yourself, and then you are going to fill your bathtub, and you are going to pour beer in there. This is actually an old German one. I know that they've used it in Latin America as well. You're going to pour the beer into the bath, and once you pour it into the bath, you are going to recite the 23rd Psalm, and you are going to read the Lord's Prayer afterwards. Do this with great faith, and this will help remove mal ojo. I don't know if you want to do it for your children. I think if you just come in and see me, I'll put them with una huevo and you're good. Adults are the same way. But if you were wanting to do a spiritual bath at home, this is a very simple one. You're just going to want to get 40 ounces of beer. Again, it doesn't need to be Old English. The OE. But pour it into your bath. Do your prayers, and even if you don't know these prayers, you guys, it's fine.
Look it up.
Look it up. I wasn't gonna be that firm, but again, you know, our little Leo over here is acting rough
Hello,
today.
cousin. Hi, Elisa. Thank you for
Hi.
tuning in.
Yeah. So
Love you too, LMS, LMCD. I don't know who that is, but love ya. Aw, I don't know if he wants to come on in.
I don't know. We're getting ready to close. You guys. No, just kidding. So, yes, that is a very simple bath. Beer, prayers, go from there.
And the reason why it's the beer is because all of the natural elements that are put into this. Oh, Susan. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
All of the natural elements that are put into alcohol and the time it takes to, I don't know what it's called. I don't want to say ferment. Yes. And I was going to say perforate. I don't even know what the fuck that means, but you know, I need a glossary.
Percolate. No, just kidding.
Percolate, whatever. That makes me want to twerk. Okay.
No.
So,
Well, no, we don't do that.
okay. So the wheat, the thyme, the fermenting, all of that.
The hops.
Yes, the hops. All of that in your bath is going to be what cleanses all that nasty shit off of you. Okay. So, yeah, definitely
And,
that.
I mean, with, what is it? I can't pronounce it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Strignomagic, the Italian magic.
Oh, strega.
Strega. There we go. I just killed that. I'm sorry, guys. I should be good because I'm trying to be an Italian housewife over
I
here.
know.
No, just
You know,
kidding.
she's trying to go on Italian Housewives.
Oh, Lord, I didn't know. Just kidding. A lot of times growing up, I was taught to pour beer in my hair regularly because there's nutrients in it.
And it keeps it healthy. Because
Yes.
the first thing people are going to attack is always going to be your looks, your hair, you know, and your relationships.
Yeah.
So, just be careful with that.
Yes, but no, beer is amazing for that purpose. So I thought I'd share that little one with you. Again, if you don't know the prayers, you can look them up. If you have complete faith in what you're doing, a lot of times it's just
Say
having
your
that
own
faith.
prayer from your heart.
Yes, say it from your own heart. Do not get out of the bathtub until that stuff is down the drain,
Yes.
please.
Air dry.
Air dry. Yes, that includes your hair, y'all. Okay.
Old English and candles is what Elisa said. That works. Shit, she might want to take a sip too.
Party over here. Just kidding. No, we're not.
Party over there. Okay. All right. I'm gonna start singing and dancing, and twerking, and all that shit here pretty quick. So that's because I ain't even had a sip.
Okay.
But
No, just
I
kidding.
believe. Oh, another thing, ashes.
Ashes, yes.
Okay.
Ashes are very, very good.
So you can take ashes in whatever context you want. It could be your people's ashes or ashes left over. Ashes left over from
Your burning.
your burnings
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They can also be used for in helping to cleanse and helping to do spells. And I don't really know about offerings.
Yes, you can use them for offerings. A lot of times we use them as protection. I know warriors back in the old days, they would actually cover themselves with ash and soot from the fire to protect themselves. Women, if they lost their husbands in battle, they would then cleanse their body with it and be offered to the new husband, which is usually his brother or something.
That's so precious. Inbreeding. Okay, yeah, it's time to go. Anyways, we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much.
Yes, we have a special guest coming on next
Yay,
week.
we do.
Yes, I'm glad we didn't forget that.
So we have a couple of authors that are spiritually inclined, and this is how they received their gift. They are published authors, and they are local here to Roy, Ogden, Layton area, and they will be here. They're also going to be here. Well, they're going to be here to tell us a little bit about the book, how their journey went, and stuff like that. But at the same time, they're going to be here Saturday for a meet and greet
Yes, I love
and
that.
book signing.
They're going to be doing book signing here in the shop on Saturday next week. Not this week, next week.
Yes.
And then we will have them on the show on our Friday, our
Yes.
next Friday live. And they're actually clients of ours.
Yeah.
And they will tell you some stories and they will let you know about their books. So we're super, super excited.
I love it because we've kind of walked them through this whole process of them creating their book and stuff. And so I'm a proud mama here. You know, I love that. I love to see people succeed. It's fucking awesome.
It's a beautiful thing, especially being a spiritual worker. When you have people come back in and they're on their right path, and you help to guide them there. It is definitely. I feel like that's our blessing in return for helping.
Yes, and like I said, everybody's here for a reason. Everybody has different reasons, you know. And I could never write a book for my life. It'd probably be all cuss words. So I could write a rap song, but that's about it. Okay, guys.
I love it. I
We
love
will see you
it.
guys next week. I'm excited to have them on our show. You guys hear their stories and just know that like things can happen. These people didn't even know like where their life was going a year ago, and now they're published.
They're published.
Woo,
Yes,
I
they are
love that
great.
shit.
And I've read some of their book, and it's amazing. You guys will love it. Let's see. I think that's it. We're good. Oh, ancestor money. Yes, burn ancestor money to bring in good, positive. You need help with money. Burn that. We sell it in the shop, and you can also save those ashes. You can save those ashes and use them as well.
You can put them around a green money candle for later on in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just you can use it for anything. Use your creativity.
Yes. Creativity.
Okay, guys. Well, we will see you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Ciao.